Okay, I got it working this time. I'll have another go. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was really a reminder I had today, and as I often do, of very simple, basic truths on the journey, which is essentially all about self-love. It's about caring for yourself and being with yourself. But my reminder today was after doing a reading and assisting a person through a challenge in their spiritual development, which was, I feel, all about putting too high expectation on yourself, pushing yourself, trying to become perfect, which is contradictory to what we actually are and who we are and what we're here to do. It's about loving ourselves and allowing ourselves to feel however we feel. We actually don't need to strive to be spiritual. Spiritual is the essence of who we are. Living in this world is actually far more challenging than being spiritual. So, but loving ourselves and being kind to ourselves as we experience aspects of life, like emotions, a very strong emotion. If you're feeling very hurt or unhappy about something, the first thing we're taught to do is to deny it, stop crying, deal with it, have a positive thought, think something positive. Well, it's actually leaving ourselves out in the cold. It's not supporting ourselves. I don't mean wallowing, I mean allowing. Feelings actually don't last that long if we just allow them to be what they are. So, yeah, years ago I had a client come up the steps in the healing centre, and he was a mess. He'd been to a very well-known healer who had helped him open up a whole lot of emotional pain within himself, and then left him to it, really. So he turned up there, and I spent 2 hours in my room with him. Essentially, I just put my hands on him to give him comfort. There wasn't a whole lot of magical energy stuff happening. I was just there for him, and all I did was ask him to just keep breathing. Just keep breathing, don't stop, don't halt, don't pause. Breathe through it and just let it be. We did that for 2 hours and it worked. That was in my late 20s. I had that experience, and I thought, yeah, wow. I actually didn't do a whole lot of stuff. I didn't move a whole lot of energy. I just allowed him to deal with it within himself, which I think is much longer lasting, because I also learned from other people that yes, I could move energy blockages for them, but next week they'd be back, because the pattern, the blockage, the pain, whatever had caused it, hadn't changed, it hadn't shifted, it was still in their consciousness, so it would be back. Which at that time brought me to some profound experiences in various interesting places around the country of being in the moment. I remember being utterly in atrocious back pain, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was in the middle of nowhere, so I just lay with it. I lay on my bed in my little bus I used to have, and breathed and surrendered, and I saw the beauty and the love and the gift in everything. And I no longer experienced the back pain as pain. It was merely a sensation. It no longer had a label because I had stopped resisting it. It was a sensation. That's all it was. And I believe our resistance to things causes us far more pain than the actual sensation itself, whether it's a feeling, whether it's a physical sensation. It's not an easy thing to do. It's certainly easier if you've got the right person around you who can, as they say these days, hold the space to just be there for you energetically and emotionally and let you process that. But there's nothing they need to do. There's nothing to really do, apart from pure acceptance. You know, you need to be with somebody who can accept that. If they start falling to bits and wanting to fix everything, you're with the wrong person. They need to be able to actually just be there and let you experience your feelings. It's not about pushing buttons. It's not about making them worse. So, yeah. There is a need, however, when somebody has been through a very, very traumatic experience, that sometimes that's not the right time. The experience needs to sit and settle for a while. And that's why we often develop interesting habits of avoiding, of running away from things, and we kind of burn ourselves out by doing that. I did that at age 31. I ran away and ran away and ran away until I actually collapsed. And then I had to be with whatever was going on, and I had to experience it. There was no out. It was a pretty tough way to learn it. There's much easier ways, and that's to do something about it before you do that. But I think a lot of our New Age movement has complicated things. It's created hierarchies where people feel that the more complicated their technique or their philosophy is, the better. I find often the simplest things are the best. So if you have an uncomfortable feeling, or you have a bothersome situation, just try sitting with it. If it gets too much, stop. But just try sitting with it. And when you're breathing, don't pause. We tend to pause on the in or out breath when we want to avoid something. Just keep breathing slowly and try to observe the feeling. Don't judge it. It doesn't need a label. Feelings actually aren't bad or good. They're just energy. Just sit and be with it and let it be where it is. And there's actually nothing else you need to do. And yeah, just be loving to yourself. You know, if your best friend was feeling like that, would you say, oh, you shouldn't be feeling that, you're bad, get over it, get alive? No, you wouldn't. You'd probably be there and give them a big hug. So yeah, do that for yourself. Loving kindness, it's really the most healing, most beautiful thing you can do for yourself, because there really isn't a whole lot you have to do or achieve. A lot of people try to make people believe that. I believe that's of the old dogma, of the old doctrine of keeping people so busy achieving and believing that they have to be better than who they think they are. It actually just creates anxiety. You are who you are right now, in this very moment, and that's always, always enough. Lots of love to you, and be gentle.